Hi everybody, welcome to FitBryn. I'm really happy that you're joining me for today's workout. If you're like, who the heck is talking on this voiceover? I'm Brenna, and this is a fitness channel for the people that are embracing the messy journey of fitness, but that are also embracing the messy journey of self-growth, self-development, and spiritual awakening. So I'm really excited to dive into this episode, and I feel like this will resonate with hopefully most of you, and it's about haircuts, because I recently have cut my hair, and it actually brought up a shit ton of stuff for me about my insecurities, about my relationship with beauty standards, about my relationship to myself. And I know that probably most of us have all experienced a bad haircut. And if you have not, honestly, I'm really happy for you. I don't want you to experience a bad haircut because it's quite traumatizing. So I had very long hair about 9 months ago. It went down past my boobs. It was super flowy and long. I had a nice balayage, so I had some nice like sun-kissed color. I was in a very like feminine energy place, was loving my hair. But my partner and I were going on a road trip, so I was like, you know what? I want to cut some of this stuff out and I want to make it lighter. Weight-wise, lighter. So I went and I got a haircut. And I really did not like it. It really like cut out a lot of my like blonde color. It made my hair look quite dark and heavy, and basically it was just bad, but it was still long. I went through like 3 months just not feeling like myself and always wanting to put my hair up, not knowing what to do with it, to the point where when it was December and we got home after our road trip, I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna cut my hair short. Like I'm gonna do a chopped bob shorter than my shoulders, like close to my chin. And I was a little bit nervous because the last time I got a bob, I genuinely thought that I looked like Lord Farquaad. And it's kind of true, I did, because I cut it like straight to my shoulders and my hair was also very dark at that time. So I was a little bit nervous, but I did it, and genuinely I did like it. It was a change, but I was happy that I did it. And also my partner has like chatted with me a lot about like how short hairstyles are super cool. And I wanted to be very intentional not to cut my hair just because of him, to do it for him or because he'll like me better. But I also like was aware that I wanted to push myself, you know? I think that it's very easy to stay in your comfort zone with your hair, and if it works for you, then you just want to keep doing that. There's also nothing wrong with it, but I think I'm just like at a point in my life where I'm like, you know what, I'm quite young, might as well fuck it up and try different things. So I cut my hair short and it was fine. It was growing out and it was getting kind of long, and I was like, you know what, it's time for another haircut. So this was maybe like 3 months after I cut my hair into a bob. So I get my hair done for like 3 hours because I'm like coloring it, and she chops it, and genuinely, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't really change the style. I pretty much just cut a shorter bob, but I really didn't like the way that it fell. It kind of like shaped my face like a bowl. And so I had this like internal crisis of, oh my God, what do I do? Am I gonna go back to the salon? I also didn't want to go back to the salon because I didn't want to offend the hairstylist. I didn't want her to see me, but I was also like, fuck, like this is my hair and I want to like my hair, and I don't like my hair right now. So what do I do? I was also like kind of halfway in between getting a pixie haircut, like a long pixie. I was looking at all these photos on Pinterest and I was just like, like, what do I do? I don't know. So when I didn't like my hair, I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to go to the salon. I would ideally love a different hairstylist because I don't want to go to the person who did my hair in a way that I didn't like. So it ended up working out where they gave me another hairstylist that was kind of an expert in short haircuts. So I felt a little better. The thing is that I know that when you're getting a haircut, you should go in with a very clear idea of what you want, but I also didn't mind that I was a bit open and flowy. Like I wanted to chat about my hairstyle with the hairstylist. So that's why the first time I got my haircut, I just kind of was like, like, what do you think? What should we do? And we kind of kept it the same. Anyways, I go back, I tell the hairstylist what I don't like about the haircut, and she was kind of giving me suggestions about what we can do to fix it. And I was like, no, like I actually just don't want this. I think I want more of like a long pixie cut, more of a mullet style. And you're probably like, Brenna, what are you talking about? I can't see this right now, but you'll see it in other workout videos that I post. So anyway, she starts snipping, zip, zap, zoop. And I'm like low-key starting to panic, like, holy fuck, what's going on? And she could sense that I was stressed. And she was like, are you anxious? Like, don't worry. Like, you really look good with short hair, like good for you. And we were just starting to chat through societal expectations and also not relying on long hair for femininity or for an identity for that matter. Especially after reading Eckhart Tolle, I'm very aware that my identity exists completely outside of my physical body. So whatever my hair looks like, even if it's horrendous or it's amazing, that's not actually a reflection of who I am or my value. But I think that it's really easy to forget that because like hair really does make an emphasis on what you look like. So I think it's totally valid that, you know, if you don't like your hair, you're like, fuck, like I don't feel that good. Or if you love your hair, you're like, I feel amazing. So it's a very tough one to navigate that. But essentially the hairstylist, she cut my hair, and it's a long pixie cut, and holy fuck, it is something for me to get used to. I was kind of in shock when she was doing it, and when she showed me, I was like, holy shit. I went outside to show my boyfriend, and I started crying. Just because it's an emotional experience. I feel like you're not only just cutting your hair, but you're like cutting away like bullshit, and you're also cutting off your identity completely, especially when it's something shocking, like going from long hair or medium length hair to a pixie cut. I feel like no matter what hair you have, if you go to a pixie cut, like you are going to look different. And it's scary, but part of me was like, fuck it, I'm gonna deal with it when it happens, and I'm just gonna do this. And it really made me reflect on how hair carries identity, it carries your ego, it carries your ideas of femininity, and it also carries your sense of safety. And so later that day, I was like getting used to it. I wasn't sure I loved it. Like there were parts of it that I was like, I don't know if I look like a boy, like I don't know. But the thing is that I did go to a good hairstylist, so she actually did cut it quite well, and I'm excited to see how it's gonna grow out. I'll make a video about this so that you can see, but I'm slowly like getting used to it, and I think I have just tried to navigate the periods of time where I feel a little like my heart just feels like it's so clenched and so tense and so anxious because I'm worried about what other people think. I'm worried about how I'm perceived by other people, that I look manly, that I don't look feminine, that I look like a boy, that I'm ugly. But the thing is that I really have enjoyed putting my hair back when it's long because I enjoy my face, you know? And I think me cutting my hair was like, you know what, Brenna? Like, you can do this. You can do something that's scary and you can rock this. Of course, you feel more bare. You have less to hide behind. You can't hide behind like a trendy style as much because it's literally just your short hair, and your short hair is a statement. But I also was thinking like, honestly, I feel as though, especially where I live, I don't know where you live, but where I live, everyone just starts to look the fucking same. Everyone's wearing Aritzia clothing, or everyone wants to wear Arc'teryx because it looks hype, and it's all about these hype brands, and everyone's wearing Solomon trail shoes. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong if you genuinely enjoy those things, but it almost starts to feel prescriptive, and that the safe thing for you to do is to dress like other people. And so you're getting your style just from like athleisure brands, and you're only shopping from like a pool of 20 stores or something. And also, I have wanted to check my relationship with consumerism because I feel like I'm going to sound like an old lady, but we live in a time of unchecked consumerism. So many trends all the time, always needing to get new things to stay relevant. And I kind of had this reflective moment when I cut my hair of like, I can get off this wheel. I can get off this rat race to keep trying to dress a certain way or look a certain way. Why don't I just look like myself? Don't get me wrong. Like, I like to feel feminine. I like to feel edgy sometimes. I like to dress more tomboy-like, but I also do really enjoy like dressing super feminine and wearing dresses and all of those things. Like, I like to switch up my style, but the thing is that I want to be creative with what I have. And if I'm going to buy something, I genuinely want to buy it because it is something that my like true self or my authentic self is like, ooh, like I like this. I think this is sick and I'm gonna rock this. And I think that we need to have more of that lens when we're shopping, not shopping to look like someone else or to be an idea of something, you know, because that's what I think everyone, no offense, starts to look like, is these like hollow frames of something, but it's not actually reflective of them as a person. And maybe our culture is getting past the point where we need to reflect our individuality in our style and in our clothing, but that's like one of the few ways that we really can like showcase our personality and what we like and what we don't like. So it almost feels like a missed opportunity. I almost want to bring back the movement to be more unique and to go against these trends that start to make everyone look monotonous, you know? And don't get me wrong, there are definitely some brands that are like coming out with so many different types of styles and like crazy clothes that you think, oh yeah, like this is all for people to be unique because these things all look so, I don't know, wackadoodle and wacky, but it's like part of a prescriptive style, if that makes sense. It's already part of a trend, like a Y2K trend, which is fine. Like trying to, like getting inspiration from Y2K, go for it. Me too. I like parts of Y2K style for sure that I'm like, ooh, I'm inspired. I want to dress kind of like a tomboy, or I want to dress with like this type of retro baby t-shirt or whatever, you know? I think that it's totally fine to be inspired, but that you need to ask yourself the questions about why are you doing something. If it's to look a certain way that's outside of yourself, or it's to feel validation in the fact that you're hitting a certain beauty ideal, then that's something external to you, and that's not coming from a place of deep self-love. So I would argue and I would ask you to rethink it and to take some time like becoming more self-aware and to asking yourself like why you are engaging in certain behaviors, whether it's like overconsumption or being really hard on yourself and trying to style your hair in a way to look like other people. It's totally fine to be inspired by other people, but like you don't want the things that you're doing to come from a place of self-punishment, you know? And chopping my hair has really aggressively made me confront those things in myself, because I'm not preaching this saying, oh, you are all doing this. No, I'm saying this because I was and still like have tendencies to be that person. I would always just get my ideas for what I should wear from what my friends wore, from what people around me were wearing. I definitely was always on the like trendy sneaker vibe, you know, I always wanted to be relevant, but it's because I spent my whole entire life worrying that I wasn't like good enough and that I wasn't cool enough and that I wasn't, I don't know, just like hitting the markers of good looking. And so I always looked around me and outside of me for those standards. And I think cutting my hair and having the partner that I do is that I'm really pushed to confront those things within myself and to be like, no, you know what? I'm just gonna have short hair. And I really like that not too many people have short hair. It makes me like excited to just continue to break molds and to ask myself, what do I like? What do I want to wear? What do I want to look like? Not to do it in a way where you become like narcissistic or self-absorbed. No, I think that there's nothing wrong in taking ownership and having dignity in the way that you look. Like, I know that people complain about the younger generation and their over obsession with skincare, but hey, look, your skin is like the biggest organ on your body and I want to take care of it. So for me, it also gives me pride to take care of my skin. I want to have youthful skin. I want to freaking fight my acne that I've had for my entire life. My acne journey is another story. But I do want to have ownership and dignity in the way that I look, and that's important. And I think like tying all of this back, like self-love is the most important thing. And sometimes self-love looks like not recognizing yourself and sitting in that discomfort. So self-love means acknowledging the fact that you're having a crisis of like, oh my God, I don't like myself right now. I don't like the way that I look because I did something different and it's different from the mold of what so many other people are doing. But I'm going to sit in this discomfort because I know that I made the decision to make this choice from a place of wanting to try something new, break a mold, break a behavioral pattern, and push myself and do something scary. And in the sitting of the discomfort, I feel like you actually give yourself grace. You allow yourself to just not be in resistance to what's going on, and you're like, I'm going to breathe through this. Yes, I maybe don't love this, but I'm just going to allow myself to not love this right now. And eventually I am going to have more ability to see all of the pluses of my decision and to be really proud of myself. And you know what? There are some times where I look at my hair and I'm like, holy fuck, what the hell did I do? And then there are other moments where I'm like, sick, that was cool. I look like the girl from The Matrix. Here I am saying I look like someone else, but like I had inspiration. I thought she was a badass bitch. I think that I'm like really coming around to the short hair, and I'm getting excited to continue to like style it, and maybe I'll like do some other short hairstyles and play around with it, you know, and just like, I don't know, really allow it to be a pathway for me to be so powerful and unstoppable. And I think sometimes pushing yourself to do something for yourself that feels scary because it's unconventional is so important, because it will give you the opportunity to come back to yourself, or to find yourself, and to be a friend to yourself. So I don't know if that's like too vague and you're thinking, I don't know what the fuck you're trying to say, but it's like, I have so much I want to say about this, but it's also so hard to enunciate it. But I just want to let you know that if you made a change and you're not feeling like yourself, don't worry. Give it time, sit in the discomfort. If you made that decision from as much of an aligned place as you could in that moment with the amount of self-awareness that you have developed up until this point, then you're doing your best. And if you also made a decision where you were like, you know what, I wasn't conscious, I wasn't aware, I did this outside of myself, that's also okay, because you're aware of that and you're learning. The only way that you get to the place that you want to be is by making decisions. And some of them you're like, that wasn't amazing. And then other ones you're like, yeah, I freaking killed it. But the most important thing is to just be aware. And if you didn't love it, it's a learning opportunity, and you're going to have that knowledge for next time. So just be kind to yourself. Don't be afraid to make a change in your life. Don't forget that if you're freaking out, if you've made a decision that like has altered the way that you look, that the reason why you're freaking out is because your ego is acting up, because it is assuming that your identity and your sense of worth is completely attached to forms or materiality. The way you look, how you do your hair, how you did your makeup, what you're wearing, how your body looks. You are who you are exists outside of those things. So remember that like your sense of self-love and your essence is always in existence above and beyond any sort of material entity. I feel like that was very new age and spiritual, but genuinely the truth. I've been reading that Eckhart Tolle. Anyways, let's keep this short. Thanks so much for joining me for this workout. I hope you enjoyed it. This is actually a very good total core workout. I hope to see you on the mat later. Please like and subscribe. Sending you lots of love.